kijken, dit is... Kijk, ja klopt, even met dit, dankjewel.
Ja?
Oké, hoi.
If someone had told me they were into Apple computers, it would have been like someone telling me, hey, I like music, but I don't like the Beatles. I would not take you serious. I'd be like, hey, you do you, but whatever. So I've been a Windows user for all my life. I've tried Linux, I've tried loads of Macs actually, but it really didn't like the way they worked, really didn't like the OS, really didn't like how depending you were on Mac OS hardware. And I never had a reason to buy a Mac or to invest in the Apple thing. It comes as a surprise to many of my friends and probably now to you as well that this box contains my brand new M1 MacBook Air. It still weirds me out. So hear me out. I was following the news on the new M1 and generally following news on gadgets and electronics, so I know what's what. And I was like, that is actually a really impressive technical feat. And just when I was thinking like, yeah, should I get one just for the heck of it? I was like, yeah, I don't need one. I'm doing everything on my PC just fine. It's much cheaper. I have a great Dell Latitude laptop that I don't need to get rid of. No, let's not do this. And then a friend told me, hey, I have an old MacBook. It's early 2011 and it runs fine, but it doesn't charge the battery. The battery's fine, the charger's fine, but it doesn't charge the battery. So what you can do is charge it in another MacBook and then use it for like half a year and then it's depleted again and then you need another MacBook to charge it again. So I was like, if you don't mind me mainly using it to help other people out, then yeah, sure, let's do this. So I got the thing and I was like, let's have some fun. So I installed Catalina on it, which it's not really designed to run, but it sort of works. It's not completely stable. And I just started working on the thing and I noticed that when video and audio editing and photo editing, it's just an old laptop. But running macOS, like surfing the web, watching YouTube, that kind of stuff, man, the thing is smooth. And this is a second gen i5 with 8 gigs of memory, right? And I was comparing it to, well, my PC is a lot quicker. It's a Ryzen 7 from last year, but with 32 gigs of memory and the proper video card. But I was comparing it to my Dell Latitude, which is a 6th gen i5 with 16 gigs of memory. And the thing actually outperformed the Dell for day-to-day tasks, not for heavy tasks, but for day-to-day office tasks, video editing, etc. And I grew really fond of working with this thing. So fond that I started using this for everything except for the audio, video, photo editing on my PC. I'm still annoyed with the networking environment. It's still macOS that I prefer a taskbar. But I grew to like just the way it ran. And I was like, you know what? It's a sign. I got this for free. And it's great in many ways. And the M1 just came out. And I had a little bit of money to spare because, no travels and everything. Let me hook this up to the charger again. I'm still not sure why they got rid of MagSafe. So I was like, all of the things align. Let's buy an M1. So I bought an M1 MacBook Air. The reason I got the Air is that it's good enough. I know how cool the M1 runs. So I didn't really need a Pro for cooling purposes because one of the main differences between the M1 Air and the Pro is the cooling solution and the screen. Hardware is the same, processor is the same, video is the same. Everything is baked into that new M1 chip. This is the 16 gig model. Everyone tells me you don't need 16 gigs. That pops out like that. Everyone tells me you don't need 16 gigs. But I went for it anyway, just to be a bit future-proof, because this should at least last me 6 years or so, however long they are supporting it. This was a very disappointing brown box. Expected something more fancy, but there you go. This is the box, as we know. It is very tiny. The box is about the same size as this. Yeah, it is actually. The box is about the same size as this 13-inch MacBook Pro from 2011. So this video series is going to show me getting used to this Mac. I got used to the Pro quite well, but there's still loads of things it can't do because of Catalina, which aged really badly, even though it's not that old. And because of the thing just being slightly unstable, because again, it's running an OS it's not supposed to run. So I've been watching these unboxings, and this stuff always looks very satisfying, but it doesn't work that way, does it? These guys know how to do it. So I noticed on the American Macs, it's all wrapped in this sort of papery material. I wonder if this is the same, because even though every unboxing seems to have these slightly translucent wrappers, sort of like this. Can you see? This bit is a bit translucent. I've never actually seen them in real life. Does the box fart though? That's always an important thing to wonder about. Slow and steady. No fart. Okay, let's try it. Only slight farting is happening. That must be the first time one of these was open and closed back again. It does have the translucent thing. So I'm not Linus. I'm not gonna drop this one, please. Also, I'm not sponsored, so this is very much my own money we're talking about, and there's not a lot of it. It's quite dense and heavy. Very thin. I mean, you know what it looks like, right? But if you're used to slightly more thick laptops, you just grab this and you're like, what? This feels like a cutting board. It actually feels like a cutting board. And the slanted side doesn't even feel that bigger on the back. Space gray. Everyone gets a space gray one these days. I do think it's a pretty color. Although I would have probably gone for a red one or something ridiculous like that if I could have. Now, I know from watching the reviews that these things power on right away when you open them. So let's make sure we get that all in shot. I won't be surprised. Ah, okay. So it's supposed to do a one-handed opening, but it's lifting. That's impressive low end for such a thin case. So it's booting, as you can see. And it comes with the USB-C to C charging cable in the box. And here is the charger. Here it's booted up. The screen looks really good. The Apple stickers that you get, they're silver, or space gray rather.
Om Nederlands als hoofdtaal te gebruiken, druk je op de entertoets.
The intonation of that is really interesting. I'm not going to go for Dutch.
To use British English as the main language, press the return key.
Yes, please. I prefer British English because I can actually Google it easier. So all of my computers and phone, OnePlus 6 in case you wonder, are set to British English. So there's something more in this, it seems, or it's just reinforced quite a bit. Yeah, it's just reinforced. So not much to that. Here is the charger that we all know and I don't think love that much actually from old iPhones pretty much. It's very, very tiny. It's quite heavy and dense as well. It has this removable thing. Let me get the wrappers off. This removable thing that should pop up off like this. So you can actually, yeah, you can use it with a normal separate wire. You can just plug that in there. But if the USB-C one is long enough, that should do the trick. Feels very sturdy. So I'm going to set this thing up. I'm gonna just, is there anything else in here? But this doesn't seem to want to come out, so I don't think so. I'm gonna set this thing up and let you know how it works. So they went back to the chiclet style, I think it's chiclet style keyboard, not the butterfly switches thing that didn't work. Let's connect to Wi-Fi. Ooh, the keyboard's very light compared to that one. So yeah, I just want to take you through my experiences with this thing and all the things I don't get about it, because there will be lots of things that will make me go like, what? And I may need your help with that. So we are now connecting to Wi-Fi if all goes well. It's still thinking. Screen looks really nice, very vibrant, but not in an aggressive way. Quite big bezels actually, to my surprise. Gets a bit dark to the side, but the colors seem to stick. Let me push you up again a bit. Ah, daytime privacy, yes, continue. How do you want to transfer your information? Not now. I like a clean setup. I'm that kind of person. Oh, that's not indeed. Ah, that is a problem. Because the keyboard is not set up correctly. So that's actually oh, now it is. Okay, I just got not an at, and now I get an at. It's like it still had to wake up. Of course, there's a narrow enter, which is always a problem, but you get used to it, I guess. Nice clicky sound to the keyboard. I am mistyping my password because the shift is very narrow as well. It has been sent to my other devices. Well, that's a bit annoying, isn't it? Let's do this. There we are. iCloud could not be activated because of a server error. This is a great start, isn't it? It's doing something, it's loading again. Okay, I think it figured it out anyway. So I don't know, but for some reason there's errors and then it changes its mind. I don't think I hate the keyboard, but I don't think it's quite as nice as that one. That one, just a little lighter, would be great. Okay, it's creating my account, I assume. I still have the yin yang thing, which I should have changed, but whatever. While this is setting up, slowly, for some reason, I'm just going to tidy this up. May not matter to you, but it's a bit messy surrounding me. No clue what I'm going to do with the Apple stickers. People seem to just keep them. Your Apple ID was used to sign in. Well, there we go. Find My Mac. Find My allows you to locate this Mac on a map. Find My. Touch ID. Of course, yeah, it has that. Yeah, let's do this. Well, that seems to work quite well. Oops, I shouldn't click, it tells me. So press lightly. Keep going with the edges. Well, this is a very quick fingerprint reader. Continue. I guess it's just going to be this finger. Maybe I can set up more fingers. I'm going to go for dark mode. Like my coffee and my soul. True tone display. Automatically adapts to ambient lighting. Yeah, that's going to go off, my friend. I will turn that off because I can already tell it's too warm. And I actually photo edit on this, so it needs to be, or on every computer actually, needs to be true tone, not true tone. So battery's charged about, from what I can see, I can actually exactly see it now because it has booted, 85%. Now let me look at something, because I noticed that people were like, hey, I still haven't plugged it in and it's still going. Yeah, without the laptop, this is going to take some time, isn't it? Here we go, a little bit of violence. But I wonder, do they recommend you to plug it in right away? Touch ID. Okay, that's a very brief, it's in Dutch, but that's a very brief how this is working. Remember when Windows came with a big book? Doesn't tell me anything about it, so I'm used to having to plug in batteries when you get them new, but this is of course lithium ion, so it's not very sensitive to the memory effect of batteries and everything. I must admit, I do realize I bought the budget option, not really though, but it's a very underwhelming unpacking experience. It's fine, it's absolutely fine. I'm just going to take these off as well because you just know you have to at any point anyway. But it's not a very exciting unpacking. 16 gigs of memory. All seems exactly as I ordered, so that's good. And I'm going to see if it indeed did log into my iCloud, because that's something I was a bit unclear about. Yeah, it does show me the Poppy that I set up. So this seems to be running well. So yeah, this is my new Mac, and I'm going to annoy the hell out of Apple. First thing I'm going to do is install Chrome. Mac with Intel. No. No, Mac with Apple chip. Do you want to allow downloads? Yes. Okay, that was a bit overdone, but it's downloading. Let's do the obvious because everyone's talking about this. Let's check the sound quality. Here's a video that I made so I know what it sounds like. Sounds a bit like it has a subwoofer. There's like quite a bit of low end for a small laptop, for any laptop. But then there's no real mid-low. It's very thin sounding, and then there's quite sharp S's and highs. So it's impressive for its low-end capabilities, but for a laptop. But it doesn't sound good or anything. Quite loud. Transparency is okay. It's still a laptop. I don't really know why they keep comparing these things, because it still sounds like a laptop. But it's very acceptable. It's something you could actually listen to. I usually have this hooked up to my laptop. It's an IKEA NB20. Highly recommend it. It's a ridiculously good Bluetooth speaker, and I'm saying that as an audiophile. And for the price, I think it's $50 in the US. It's ridiculous. But I usually have it hooked up to that. But I think for YouTube videos and everything, especially for spoken word, I can live with the built-in speakers. We'll see. I'll let you know in future videos. So it comes with pages and everything. I'm still not sure if I'm going to use that or if I'm going to go for another Office suite. I have yet to find out all of the new software, but let's quickly install Chrome and see if it all runs smoothly. Downloads, Chrome. God, I'm happy I had this one for some time. Now I don't have to figure everything out. Okay, here's Chrome, and no, I actually just meant to drag that. Here we are. I do miss the click. I miss the click in the touchpad. It was much more pronounced. This feels a bit unwieldy, but it still clicks. Ooh, some nice spatial sound going on there. Chrome. First boot. Oh, It's an app download from the internet. Yes, it's fine. Set Chrome as your default browser. Yes. Use Chrome. Oh, that's so Microsoft to be like, are you sure you wanna use that browser instead of ours? I always that's annoying that you have to click twice. Yes, you can allow notifications. Yes, you can turn on sync. Okay, Chrome seems to be running smooth as silk. Let's just check how this sounds.
It's running at 60 hertz. Interestingly, it does have support for variable.
It is a bit harsh. I'm not too keen on the sound. I think it's slightly overrated, but it is definitely not horrible. I'm not sure if there's any way of adjusting. It does AirPlay to my Cambridge streamer in the living room. I'm not sure if there's any way of adjusting the sound. Probably not. Let's see, because this is actually something that didn't work as much as I like the touchpad. Let's see if I can pair it with my mobile mouse. Because for some reason these mice don't work on old MacBooks. So let's see, Bluetooth. Okay. You find the mouse, please. It's found it. Connect. So I don't mind using this touchpad, but it's nice to have a mouse for photo editing and everything. Identifying your keyboard. Press the key immediately to the right of the shift key. Your keyboard cannot be identified. Why does this never work? It doesn't work on that one either. You have pressed the key on your Apple keyboard. Please press the keys on the keyboard that can't be identified. Yeah, that's what I did. Press the key to the right of the shift key. So that doesn't work. I also don't know why I need it, but it always asks me that, and it just never works. So, this is. Why am I getting it? Oh, because I keep touching this instead of the shift. This is a test note for the Apple keyboard in my MacBook Air M1. Yeah, that seems correct. I got all the things where I need them to be. I just wish I could. Can I just set this up to be shift? No, because I don't have a tilde. Ah, well. Touchpad's great. It's actually very similar to that one, just slightly more responsive. Keyboard's very acceptable. Okay, so that's what it does. So this actually locks the screen. I think that is really good. So if you just press it, it locks the screen. And if you touch it, it unlocks the screen. This is not bad at all. Yeah. It's definitely a more responsive touchpad to multi-touch as well. First impressions, not a bad machine. Bit of a wonky setup, but also weird how this doesn't go smoothly. Look, why doesn't that go smooth? I think it even goes smooth on that one. So there's probably still some work regarding this. This is obviously not going through Rosetta. We're gonna have to find out how that goes. But I'm going to take some time to set this one up completely. And then give you my first thoughts in a future video. But this is my M1 MacBook Air, and it's a very pretty machine. And let's see if this takes me on the Apple path, or if in half a year from now I'm like, nah, I'll get back to Windows. Who knows? I actually really am not quite sure yet. All I know is that by you working with this one, I can now honestly say that I can live with macOS. And that was not something I could say before. Been working on it for some time now. Runs smoothly, some slightly weird glitches, but let's be honest, it's a very new system and Big Sur has only just adapted for it, so let's give it a break. But it actually is not bad to work with at all. Very, very fast. The Rosetta implementation works very well, and so far so good. Everything you heard in the reviews. There's still some quirks that I don't get, like the weird not being able to maximize windows without getting them full screen in every app. Can't figure out why they haven't fixed that yet. And the fact that you still cannot just use preview to go through folders unless you select all files first. That's ridiculous. I usually just use the spacebar thing to give me a preview and just go through it. But then at the end of the line, you have to go down and left again. Unless you have them all. Anyway, you get what I mean. But yeah, not bad. I just wanted to put this card in the card from my camera in the MacBook, and then I realized, oh yeah, living that dongle life now. So let's see if this works. It's a brand new dongle. I just got it a couple of weeks ago. Just gonna plug this in. See what happens. It's the wrong way around. That's quite annoying. How can these? Okay, whatever. Let me get the card from the other camera. I needed a camera that could run unsupervised for a long time, so I just hooked up my car camera, my dash cam, to I think it's a Xiaomi. Yeah, it's a Yi, so that's a Xiaomi. My dash cam to my power bank and had it record until the guy came. So I'm gonna put that card in the dongle now and see if this cheap off-brand dongle. That's actually kind of nice. It's nice, almost space gray. It's not quite spot on. There it is. Yep, it's the footage of the Mac arriving. Scrubbing through it really nicely, despite it coming from a card. So this card reader is doing its job rather well. You cannot see it, can you? Here we are. It's me opening the door for the mailman and grabbing my MacBook. Yay! Did I just close the door with my foot? Yes. Yes, I do actually. Never noticed that. Anyway, let's go edit. And I'm going to use iMovie. I'm actually a DaVinci Resolve user, which I should install as well, by the way, while I'm at it. Let's see how that works. On M1. But I should definitely see if I like iMovie. Never used it before, and maybe it's great for these simple montages. People seem to get along quite well with it. So let's make a movie. It's the MacBook webcam, and it still looks like a webcam, especially when I turn off the lights. It's all very webcam quality, but some light goes a long way. Here's my first thoughts on the MacBook after having used it for a few hours. I did some video editing, or all of the video editing actually, up till now of this video. I did some YouTube watching. I watched, 20 minutes of YouTube and just clicked around a lot, installed apps, and I went from 83 to now 56%, which is good. Not mind-blowing though. I expected a bit better, but then the battery is still new, and it usually gets better with a few charges, so let's see about that. Goods and bads. Very good Touch ID. Really nice. I love that you can push the Touch ID to lock the screen. I really missed an easy lock the screen option. That there is a key command with 3 keys, but I was used to Windows just going Windows L, which is really quick, one-handed, and now I have one button, which is great. Full HD video editing in iMovie is ridiculous. iMovie is very obviously optimized for M1 and runs really well. It's scrubbing through the timeline amazingly, really smooth. I really enjoyed that. iMovie has some shortcomings. I'll tell you about that in a second when we talk about my first experiences with the software. The general speed of the laptop is very good. It's as quick as my PC with everything so far, even Rosetta apps. So apps that are not native for M1 Mac. So that's actually super impressive. I like the keyboard. It's a bit light to my liking. It's a bit too light, I think. I love the clickiness though, and I don't get a lot of typos. Except for the shift on the left, because I always use the left shift, and the enter on the right. Well, there's only one enter. It's just too small. It doesn't work, but I'll get used to it, but I really don't like that. Trackpad sensitivity is amazing. It's I'm actually trying it now, really nice touchpad, trackpad, however you want to call it. I did like the click of the old one more. It was a bit heavier and a bit more pronounced, which was actually, I would more consistently click correctly with that, but I'm sure you can get used to this as well. So I prefer the click of the other, but I like the sensitivity of this touchpad. It's definitely a more modern, upgraded touchpad. Downsides, I really don't like that you can't go through a folder of photos natively by just clicking one and then just skipping through them. It sucks. You can do it with the spacebar preview thing, but only until you're at the end of the row of photos, and then you have to go down and go to the next row. You can't just keep going right unless you set your folder so that they are vertical. Then you have to press down. No, it's not great. I've noticed that XNView can actually do this, so I'm going to install that. I already mentioned the shift and the enter. Also, I noticed, but I only noticed it in the network folder. I haven't tried it with any other folders yet. There used to be this little slider on the bottom right here somewhere in every folder where you would be able to zoom in and out the icons. I already thought that was annoying because I'm just used to going Control Scroll on Windows, which actually is a lot quicker. But that slider now also disappeared, and now there's no quick way to change the size of your icons, which is annoying if you have little thumbnails, because I want to see the photos I'm about to click. Don't like that at all. Let me know if there's a way around that. I haven't checked in the settings yet. Network environment of macOS sucks balls. It just does, compared to Windows. You have to mount every network location, and it's very slow. It does load thumbnails quickly now. It didn't used to do that before, so that's an upgrade, but I still think the network environment is a pain in the ass to work with. Maybe there's alternative bits of software for that. I still need to figure that out. I wish there was a quicker way to navigate through network folders on, in my case, a NAS. What else do we have? Yeah, the notifications where it goes like, hey, this app wants to give you notifications. Do you want to allow or deny or whatever? You used to just be able to click on allow or deny, and now you have to go to the drop-down menu and then choose allow or deny. What's that about? It's really unpractical. I noticed that Quinn of Snazzy Labs already mentioned that. And he's right, it's really annoying. Also just noticed that my screen went dark because I wasn't doing much. That shouldn't happen when you're using the webcam. That's a bit shitty. So I need to set up that timeout a bit longer. Not a big deal, but kind of annoying. And then there's loads of questions. Apple Messages. How do you use it? What is it for? I have WhatsApp, I have Telegram, I have all that stuff, and other people use those services. So what do you use Apple Messages for? Just to talk to Apple people? But they also have WhatsApp and Telegram. Why would I use Messages? Can someone explain to me what Messages is good for? Because people seem to like it. It seems to be a reason to have Apple. I don't get why. Maybe it works really well, but I first need people to talk to that also use Messages, and I haven't found any yet. Maybe it's a US thing, no idea. I've been looking for this for a long time. On my PC I have Photoshop and everything, but I also have Photo Filter, which is a very tiny photo editing app, much like back in the day Microsoft Photo Editor. And if you open it, it starts within like fraction of a second, and then you just go Control-Shift-V, and it will paste whatever's in your clipboard there. So if you have a photo from the internet, you want to cut something out, just copy it, paste it there, edit it, done. There's no such thing in macOS. You could use the GIMP, but the GIMP is not that quick to start. So if anyone knows of a really nice photo editing software that's no nonsense, no like library and no splash screens, just it starts and you can immediately paste and save, that's something I'm looking for. I know you can use the Command Control Shift V, or Command Option Shift V, I'm not sure, to take screenshots of parts of the screen. I do use that already. But I still prefer to be able to really quickly paste images in software that quickly starts, just to be able to share and edit stuff really fast. So if anyone knows anything that does that, that would be great. What else do we have? Imovie, audio transitions. You can't do audio transitions. I unlock the audio from the video, and there's no way of doing transitions, and it's fine for this video, but if you're like in a car and there's a transition between two bits of the video and the revs of your car are different, it sounds really, really annoying. All of the background sound just changes instantly. So I want to be able to crossfade that. I do realize iMovie is relatively simple, but still it can do so much. Why can't it do this? Google doesn't seem to give me an answer to that either. It only tells me about fading in and out. I don't want to fade in and out. That's very, very amateur. I want a proper crossfade, a quick crossfade between two clips for audio. What else do we have? Yeah, I'm still not the biggest fan of the Finder. I never will be. I just prefer the way Windows does folders, but I'm getting used to it. So I can definitely live with that. I did put it in my downsides list, but still. That's pretty much it so far. I'm sure there's going to be loads of questions coming, but first impressions are generally really good. I'm not disappointed at all. I have no feeling of, oh my god, what did I do? Why did I spend my money on this? So that's definitely good. And I'm going to continue using it and see what I think of it in a couple of days, and I'll get back to you. And in the meantime, I'll just make little clips, just, normal screen caps, probably just with my phone, to show the things I encounter that I am struggling with, and maybe people can tell me how to fix it, people who know more about Macs than I do. So all of these things will be things that I can do in Windows and cannot do on macOS, so it will always be this comparison. I'm very sorry, but it's all I got. So I hope you understand. Hope you're having a great day, and I'm going to add this bit of video from my webcam to the footage. And this is actually the normal light in this room. It's not great, is it? And I'm going to send this off to YouTube and see what people think. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.